What's up, college football fans? Welcome to another QB Spotlight video. Today's video is over the Georgia Bulldog quarterback competition, just the situation as a whole, right? With Stetson Bennett leaving, someone has to take his place. And so right now, Georgia is in the scenario of trying to keep all three guys and have that competition play out over spring in the course of the offseason. So we're going to dive into some detail of each guy, what each guy brings to the table, the differences and the similarities, and we're going to have some film of high school. I'm going to put it on here in a second and let it roll. We're not going to necessarily break it down, but just have some film so you can kind of compare each quarterback. But before we do, just want to encourage all to consider subscribing to the channel. If you like any quarterback-related content, we put out quarterback film breakdowns. We do quarterback reports. We have a lot of interviews that we do weekly with current App State quarterback Brady McBride. We bring on a bunch of current and former quarterback and coaches to talk all things quarterback, right? So it's just a big quarterback hub that we are trying to create on this channel. So if you like quarterbacks, college football, consider subscribing. So let's talk about this quarterback competition at Georgia. And I want to say first, I think whoever wins this quarterback competition is probably going to succeed and have a good season, right, with the talent around them. But I think Georgia's pretty deep from the quarterback room, right? So we'll put on some film here in a second and watch each guy and kind of talk about it, right? Now, again, this is high school film, so take it with a grain of salt, but does a decent job showing the traits and the attributes that they bring to the table. So Carson Beck and Brock Vandergriff are probably thought to be the top two guys, but you don't want to lead out Gunner Stockton as well, right? Kirby has made a point to say Gunner's improved. He did great on the scout team last year, and that he's in the competition as well. So with that said, let's talk Carson Beck, right? Strong arm quarterback, big quarterback, a better athlete than people think, especially having a lot of time from this Georgia system. Even though there's a new offensive coordinator coming in, he's still going to be able to have that experience. And even though he didn't have a lot of playing time these past few seasons, he still had, I would say, valuable snaps and garbage time these past few seasons, right? So I think what he has going for him is he's able to process defenses, and he has the experience. So like we said, even though it's not a lot of game film, there's still some experience playing against the high-level competition. You can see these throws. He's able to make throws. He's a better athlete than probably given credit for. He's able to use his feet, and he's got a strong arm. He's a big guy too, right? The 247 comparison was to DeShone Kizer. I don't know if y'all remember that quarterback, but he was drafted, second round overall, I believe, former Notre Dame quarterback. But anyways, big guy. He could move a little bit, but had a strong arm. So that's his comparison. Let's move on to Brock Vandergriff, right? So this guy may be my favorite quarterback out of the three, just for the simple fact I have a thing that for athletic quarterbacks, and he's probably the most athletic quarterback. He reminds me the most of how Stetson Bennett plays, just based off his high school film. He's probably a better athlete than Stetson Bennett, right? He can really sling it, big arm. Kirby's been on record saying that both Beck and Brock, or Carson Beck and Brock Vandergriff, have similar arm strengths. If you ask one guy who has a stronger arm, whoever you ask, they're going to say it's them, right? But he's a very good athlete, has the ability to throw from different angles. You can kind of see in the film we're watching right now, able to sling it, able to move around a little bit, great body control and awareness. And I think that says a lot about the type of athlete that Brock is. His comparison is Jarrett Stidham from 247, but I think he's a better athlete than Stidham. But again, Brock Vandergriff, I think, is the most similar stylistically quarterback to Stetson Bennett. So again, just depending what the coaching staff is looking for. And then let's talk about Gunner Stockton just briefly. And you can see his clips playing right now, right? He is a shorter guy in nature, which doesn't really matter at this day and age, right? He can sling the rock, but he's a bit different. He's built differently, a little thicker. His comparison is Sam Howell, which I think is a pretty good comparison. He's a good athlete. He can move around, good arm, and even in these high school clips that you're watching, he's taking a lot of hits, right? But he's standing in the pocket and delivering the ball, able to fit the ball into a tight space. So even though he's considered, depending who you're reading, he's considered the third guy right now. Who the hell knows what's going to happen, right? They're all very similar quarterbacks with some differences, mainly being Brock's probably the better athlete, but I think they're all athletic enough. They all have strong arms. They're all super, super highly recruited in high school, and they have a lot of good playmakers around them. So regardless who wins this competition, I think Georgia's going to be in a good position offensively to continue to take the steps that's been taken these past few years from the offensive side of things. Again, no idea who's going to win this competition. I like Brock for the simple fact he's a good athlete, but Carson Beck is probably or maybe leading it because he has experience. Who the hell knows? But I want to hear from you. And again, I'm sorry that it's this high school film. It's really all we have to go off of to compare. but it gives us a decent idea of what each quarterback can do, and they're very similar quarterbacks, right? But let us know what your thoughts are on the Georgia quarterback competition. Do you have a favorite? What are you expecting to see? All that fun stuff, right? Let us know in the comments below, and like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. We'll see you next time. We'll keep up with the Georgia quarterback competition. Let us know if you've got any questions. We'll see you next time. Peace.